Celtic. Saying it as SAH-win is more the Irish way of saying it, but in Welsh and Scotland, each have their own way of in the Celtic language, just like there's different nuances with the Spanish language. There's going to be different nuances with the Celtic language. So it's pronounced SAH-win from Ireland.
Awesome. Well, we have our musician from Ireland. So how perfect is this? Natasha, are you all set to give us a song?
Yeah.
Natasha Sinclair is a musician from Ireland who was introduced to us through Mia Sarah, and she has been wowing audiences over across the pond, shall we say. And she's here to help give us a little bit of the old Irish for Halloween. So I'll pass it to you, Natasha.
This is a song called The Bird. So we'll try this. The bird always whistles tunes I don't know. The bird, she always knows her way home, and she doesn't mind the winds that fly so high, and she doesn't care if other birds they stare. She will fly, soaring through great blue sky. She will fly, heavenly, divine. She travels all over the world. She dreams of far-off places, and her heart, it is found adrift in far-off places. Her goal and her destiny are one, and she still doesn't know it. And that is all part of the fun, and the path she will fly. She will fly, soaring through great blue sky. She'll fly, oh, she'll fly, heavenly, divine. She will fly, soaring through great blue sky. She'll fly, oh, she'll fly, heavenly, divine, heavenly, divine, heavenly, divine.
Wow. Thank you so much. Is that an original song?
It is. It was actually the first song that I wrote about 20 years ago now, and it was about my travels and just spreading wings and flying, really moving around. And yeah, it was the first song I wrote when I moved to Ireland. So yeah.
Man, it's a great song. Make sure we have your links in the chat so we can continue to enjoy your music. So thank you. Awesome. Like you said, we have a great treat. You know, Kate Miller and I began as friends at another spiritual community. We shared an office. And man, I was so grateful to have her as an office mate because, you know, sometimes on the backstage of spiritual communities, things can get crazy. It's like a whole lot of not spiritual going on. So we had to keep our sense of humor. And that woman anchored me in prayer more times than I want to admit to. So it was a great ride, though. And we continued to be friends. How could you not be when you meet somebody like Kate Miller? She's just an anchoress. You know, she just anchors God in everything. And I got to meet her beloved Peter before he passed. And I just got to see how that ordained her into and further into this ministry of, you know, Death Cafe that she's been hosting at the SpeakEasy, a vital and powerful conversation that is being offered once a month for anybody who's grieving, and even for people who aren't grieving, who just think it's important to include death in the conversation, the thing that we don't want to talk about. So she's always been a real powerhouse, like a sister, and she's magic. She's just pure magic. So I just want to thank you for coming to join us again, Kate, and please help me welcome the divine Kate Miller.
Whew. Thank you, Maureen. Good morning, happy Halloween, and blessed Samhain. If we were gathered in person, we would be seated in circle around a fire. So imagine that. For many years, I have hosted a gathering that included a potluck and sitting outside around a fire, and including ritual and story. 'Tis the night for revel set apart to re-illume the darkened heart and rout the hosts of dole. 'Tis night when goblin, elf, and fay come dancing in their best array to prank and roister on the way and ease the troubled soul. The ghosts of all things past parade, emerging mist and shade that hide them from our gaze, and full of song and ringing mirth, in one glad moment of rebirth, again they walk the ways of earth as in the ancient days. The celebrations that take place between October 30th and November 2nd are found in many cultures and traditions. Late autumn harvest rituals correspond with natural seasonal changes and commemorations of the dying year and remembering those who have passed by drawing analogy between human death and the dark, cold months of winter that loom ahead. This morning, I'll share a little bit about the history, though the most important component of the day is ritual, as ritual points us to the value of community, honoring, and meaning. We'll celebrate the earth, our place in the larger cycle of life, honor ancestors, those who've transitioned recently, and we'll release burdensome beliefs to make space for the seed of healthy intention. Our modern celebrations of Halloween is a descendant of the ancient Celtic festival called Samhain, meaning summer's end. Samhain signaled the beginning of winter and at the end of one pastoral year, a New Year's Eve, so to speak. Originally a Druidic festival that was celebrated on the eve of November 1st, considered the first day of winter. And it's balanced by Beltane, which is May Day, which signals the start of summer, which is 6 months later. So they're held exactly midway between the equinox and the following solstice. At Beltane and Samhain, special bonfires were lit, which had protective as well as cleansing powers, and there were rituals involving them. In ancient times, all of the fires were extinguished and relit from one great fire that was kindled by the king's chief druid. Members of each family would then light torches and carry them back to their homes to relight their own hearths, which they kept burning for the rest of the year. Samhain is a time when the veil between this world and the other world is very thin, and divine beings and spirits of the dead and mortals could move freely between one world and the next. In some Celtic traditions, young men would run the boundaries of their farms at sunset with blazing torches to protect the family from the fairies and malevolent forces that were free to walk the land, causing mischief. It was believed that the spirits needed to be appeased to avoid divine retribution and to ensure people and their livestock survived the winter. There would be offerings of food and drink that would be left for them. And the souls of the dead were also thought to revisit their homes. Feasts were had at which those souls were then invited to attend, and there would be a place set at the table for them. Mumming and guising were part of the festival, and it involved people going door to door, reciting verses in exchange for food. In Celtic mythology, at the heart of every gateway is a paradox. The threshold is literally between two worlds, but in itself is neither in and both at the same time. Samhain belonged to both summer and winter and to neither. It's a gateway to winter and a magical time of passage between the seasons. It's a time of release, a time to let go of unwanted baggage, fears, and attitudes. Just as the trees let go of their leaves, so the lives of men parallel the sacred cycles of nature. So let us honor this time, aware that the veil between the two perceived worlds of spirit and earth is thin. The spirit guides draw near the earth. Ancestors are honored with special blessings given to those who have died in the recent past. So I'm going to ask that we pause in silence, and I will light this candle. I now invite each of you to say the names of those whom you wish to honor with an intention of remembrance, ancestors, family members who have passed. May the all-pervading presence of peace hold us in tenderness as we come together in remembrance. May those whose memory we honor be held in gentleness, acknowledged for the blessings and the lessons that their lives have given us, and for the wisdom and healing available to us. The veil is also thinnest between ourselves and our highest self, Holy Spirit, at this time. If we allow and invite the more divine aspect of ourself to shine through, it will do so in an instant, always and forevermore. So now is the time for us to release which no longer serves. Nature shows us as plants and trees gently release their leaves, no longer extending the energy to hold on to something that no longer serves them. This allows the energy to go inward, to look towards the future, to kindle seeds the coming year. So I will light sage. And in an acknowledgement that we each have chosen our bodies for a reason, and that we exist beyond the limitations of our physical bodies. And if there is any karma or karmic patterns stored in our body or any part of us, we now request guidance in releasing these patterns harmoniously and joyfully in a way that supports our physical, emotional health and well-being. And for any change in consciousness to occur for healing and manifesting our soul's purpose in this lifetime. So be it now. I invite you to connect with your breath. Feel the support of your seat, sitting tall with open heart, allowing your eyes to close, tuning inward. Take a full inhale through the nose and exhaling slowly with a sigh. Once more, a full inhale, exhaling slowly with a sigh. Allow yourself to come into your natural breathing pattern. As you exhale, relaxing down and in. Notice how your body and mind begin to soften and relax. And then just gently scanning through the body, notice where you may be feeling a sense of heaviness, a sense of being weighted down. And from a place of sincere interest and care, ask, what is this weight? What is this heaviness that I'm carrying? Is it an expectation, a judgment, an obligation? Who does it belong to? Is this mine to carry? And now ask Spirit, what is it about this heaviness that is coming clear to me? What is it that I'm to release? And if you have paper and pen with you, as images or words come to you, write them down if you wish. Or you can hold it in thought. Allow yourself to write freely. What's this heaviness? Where is it in my body? And with care and concern, asking, what is this? Is this mine to carry, and can I release it? If nothing has come in this moment, that's okay. It may show up later. Begin to draw your attention back into the circle, knowing that we hold and honor ourselves and each other. And as you feel comfortable, we were sitting before the fire, you would be able to go up and place your papers into the fire, or you did not write anything down, release it into the fire, speak the words, releasing it. If you have something written on paper, you can also begin to tear up that paper, releasing what no longer serves you. And then later, maybe place it into a fire where it can be transmuted. After releasing this burden, return to stillness. Connect with your breath and any sense of lightness and gratitude that you may feel within your body and mind. Allowing that sense of lightness and gratitude to expand and permeate your being. Sit in it. Fully connect with this font of loving gratitude that is within you. And begin to listen. Listen to your soul's, your heart's murmurings. What are the qualities of life that my soul desires to express? Is there a seed desire that wishes to be planted in the dark, rich soil of consciousness that may be nurtured throughout the coming winter and tended with love? Connect with that seed, that quality that wishes to express as your life. And if you have a candle, now would be a time to light that candle as a prayer to be filled in full awareness of this deep seed intention. And I will light the candle. I also light the sweetgrass. A sage is an herb for clearing and cleansing. Sweetgrass is one for bringing in new intention. I sometimes forget that I was created for joy. My mind is too busy. My heart is too heavy for me to remember that I have been called to dance, the sacred dance for life. I was created to smile, to love, to be filled and up and lift others up. O sacred one, untangle my feet from all that ensnares, free my soul that I might dance, and that our dancing might be contagious. So I have a suggestion that your seed intention, as it has been with you, if you wanted to write it down on a weathergram, Weathergrams are similar to prayer flags, and they can be made of craft paper and tied outside with string so that as the paper weathers, as your intention is carried on the wind. So that completes our Samhain celebration. And if we were gathered together in my yard around the fire, or if we were all together, now would be the time for passing the talking stick around for each to speak. So it blends quite well with SpeakEasy's time of conversation. So I pass to Maureen.
Thanks so much, Kate. And we are going, I know, such a blessing to our community. You could read the phone book and we'd all be wowed by you. Just your consciousness shines through everything you do. It is your time to share. And that is still part of the ritual. Your voice is part of the ritual. So please allow yourself to share whatever needs to be shared, even if you just want to acknowledge those relatives who have gone before you, or if you have something else that you want to share. But in the meantime, we'll pass this over to our songstress, Natasha Sinclair.
Thank you. So yeah, I will do a song called "The Old Salt Road," and it just seems appropriate. I wrote this song upon hearing news that a friend of mine had passed away a couple of years ago now, and the whole song came out in about 20 minutes. It kind of wrote itself. So and it's really just about that journey and holding on, and about that grieving process. And it kind of just feels quite appropriate with what has just been shared, with that, the space at this time of year for, feeling that they may be closer, So anyway, this is called "The Old Salt Road." So. There was a man of middle years. His smile would dampen 1,000 tears. His heart was full of an unsung tune. His hands were kind and nimble too. I met this man on the old salt road. Galway shore, some stories untold, where the whistles were blown, the drums were drum. The fun we had on the old salt road. Will not weep, will not cry. You can haunt me, love, I still not say goodbye. Life is ended, but your memory is strong. I'll use it now so I can sing your song. It's fair to say a story ended too soon. His vibrant heart touched many a few. At times his mind could be confused, but he still left me with an unsung tune. I'll sing it here, I'll tell no lies. Lesson learned, some more he died. Listen, my loves, there's another way. Hold on tight, dawn's about to break. I will not weep, I will not cry. You can I can sing your song. The sun sets on the Galway shore. Laughter fills the air, the white swan soar. The gift she gave me, I'll hold dear. My love for you waits on a tide of tears. I will not weep, I will not cry. You can haunt me, love, I still not say goodbye. And life is ended, but your memory is strong. I'll use it now, so I can sing your song. Do, do, do. Do, do,
Wow. Thank you so much, Natasha. Hoo-wee. Your voice is healing. Your voice is an elixir, right? Oh my gosh. I know everybody wants to say that. So I just want to let you know, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Whew. Wow. All right, so Mari's going to tell us a few little things, and then we're going to get into our conversation.
Yes, good morning. Thank you, Natasha, and thank you, Kate. Just wonderful. Good morning, and actually good day to all, because some of you are in European time, so it's a little bit later. At SpeakEasy, we are committed to inspire you spiritually on Sunday mornings and throughout the week as well. We do so by offering free classes and events throughout the week to support your spiritual and your spiritual journey. We are very, very thankful to everyone who continues to support our non-for-profit community. And all of our classes and events are possible through the generous financial support and love donations from all of you. Joni will set a link in the chat. So if you look in the chat, you will find a link to just invite you to go within and see what feels correct for you to continue in the flow of giving and receiving. And check with your Holy Spirit to see what is yours to share with us. No gift is too small. All of these financial resources help us to just continue all these classes. If for some reason at this point you are not able to financially help us, all we ask is that you pray for the prosperity of our community. So we invite you to go to SpeakEasySpiritualCommunity.com. If you check at the top of the page, there's a tab that says calendar. All of our classes and events are there. All these are free.
Thanks so much for inviting me along and having me along as part of this service today. It's been beautiful and some lovely words. It's called The Long Road. Okay. You chose the long road. What a tough mountain to climb. You chose a long road, trying to find some peace of mind, with that devil on your back and the world upon your feet. There's no more looking back. May as well admit defeat. Has your journey been hard, or full of joy and bright sun? Has your journey been lonely, or did it bring you back where you belong? With that devil on your back and the world upon your feet. There's no more looking back. May as well admit defeat. It's been so long since I've seen you, your changing face etched on my mind. Will you greet me with warm smiles, or a sad heart for what's left behind? Tell that devil get off your back. Tell the world get off your feet. There's no more looking back. Oh, it's time for our paths to meet. You chose the long road. What a beautiful mountain to climb. You chose the long road. I hope you found some peace of mind. Now that devil is off your back and the world falls at your feet. There's no more looking back. Oh, thank you for the second chance.
Wow, wow, wow. Do you have a link to check out your music? Sure, send it to me via email and I'll put it in our newsletter.
Oh, amazing. Thank you.
People are going to be interested in knowing where they can hear that ear candy again, because it was just soul food. And thank you so much for saying yes to your gifts and saying yes to this invitation. Damn, yeah, it was good. And Kate Miller.
Thank you.
Mari, this is Joni. If anyone wants to get a hold of Kate, We have her email. She's generously sharing if you have questions. And don't forget to sign up through Breeze for the monthly Death Cafe. I've been to almost every one of them and they are wonderful help.
Thank you all for being here and have a wonderful Halloween. God bless. Bye.
Bye.
Have the best Halloween ever.
Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Maureen.
You're welcome, Rooney. God bless.